Welcome back, class. I'm Doctor Electro from the Electro Company, and today we're entering uncharted territory in the Robopup discography. A track so short, so deceptively simple, and yet so revealing that it's easy to miss its radical departure from her usual style. This is not just a song, this is Silly Girl. Here at the Electro Company, we plug directly into the source code of music and decode its deepest meanings. Through the lens of Doctor Electro, we're going to dissect it like a mad scientist in a lab full of buzzing synthesizers. Why? Because every line, every beat, every silence holds a spark of meaning. We'll uncover the obvious, the hidden, and maybe even some shocks I didn't intend. Strap in. This is going to be thorough. No stone untuned, no lyric unprobed. Why Silly Girl is different? Today we're examining a fascinating specimen from the Robopup discography, a track that, on the surface, seems like an outlier, an anomaly. It's her shortest track, clocking in at a mere 71 seconds. It contains none of her signature glitch-stutter vocal effects. It features not a single word of Russian, a key element tied to her heritage. And it has no instrumental intro. From the very first millisecond, you're in it. So the question is why? Why strip away all the trademarks? We're going to argue that this absence isn't a lack of features, but a feature in itself. This is Silly Girl, and by stripping away everything, it becomes one of her most raw, direct, and devastating relatable transmissions. Before we dissect, quick disclaimer. So, looking at the Genius page, there's no indication of any structure. No verse, no bridge, no intro, outro, or even a pre-chorus. Nothing. Which kinda makes this song stand out even more. Unless it was a mistake. Song overview and unique aspects. Let's set the stage down with an overview. As Robopup's #1 analyzer, I can confidently tell you that her style is a unique electronic pop blend. Think scenecore meets digicore, with glitchy edges and occasional Russian flair from her family roots. Her dad's Ukrainian, her mom's Georgian. They taught her to speak Russian, though writing it's not exactly her forte. But Silly Girl strips all that away. There's no glitch stutters, there's no foreign phrases. It's raw, minimal, and that's the point. In a discography full of chaotic glitches that mimic mental state, this track's smoothness feels like a deliberate reset. It's short because those feelings don't linger in epic sagas. They loop quick and punchy. The typical Robopup song is about 2 to 4 minutes, but the track Silly Girl is 1 minute and 10 seconds. Many of Robopup's songs have a glitch stutter, but this one doesn't. Some other songs blend English and Russian, but Silly Girl only has English. And most of Robopup songs have a build-up intro, but Silly Girl is a rare exception. It has immediate vocals. See that? This song's uniqueness amplifies its message. Without the glitch stutter, which in other tracks represents a fragmented thoughts or digital overload, Silly Girl delivers a cleaner, more unrelenting boredom. It starts ASAP, vocals kicking in at a second 0, like waking up to an alarm of Apathy. Sonically, it's electric pop at its core, a steady mid-tempo beat at around 120 beats per minute, simple synths layered that evoke early 2000s bedrooms pop, but with a modern lo-fi sheen. No heavy drops, just a consistent hum that you might only catch in subtle reverb with high-quality headphones. That lack of glitch, it makes the repetition feel more oppressive, like a loop without escape hatches. What if this track's shortness is a meta-comment on attention spans? In our consumed-ignored world, who has time for longer tracks? Ponder that as we dissect. Chapter 1. The shock of silence. First, let's address the elephant in the room, the lack of a glitch. In tracks like Pistoletta or Nothing Feels the Way It Should, the glitch stutter effect is a sonic metaphor. It represents a fractured psyche, a digital soul buffering, the struggle to communicate through layers of static and trauma. It's the sound of a thought breaking apart before it can fully form. But Silly Girl has none of that. The vocal is clean, smooth, almost hypnotically monotonous. Why? Because the mental state described here isn't one of frantic fragmentation, it's the opposite. It's a heavy, monolithic, suffering blanket of anhedonia and ennui. There are no glitches because the feeling is seamless. It's a smooth, inescapable prison of apathy, not a chaotic lightning storm of anxiety. The clean vocals forces you to confront the bleakness of the words without any stylistic distraction. It's unnervingly direct. The immediate start and the short runtime work in concert with this. There's no ramp up because the feeling doesn't announce its arrival, it's just there when you wake up. The 71-second length mirrors a fleeting intrusive thought cycle, a loop that plays out in your head for just a minute, over and over again. Chapter 2. The Loop of Apathy. Alright class, school's in session, so let's dissect line by line. Remember earlier how I said there was no strong structure on Genius? Well, we're going to make up our own, and we're going to call this one the course, and it starts right away. There's no preamble, bam, we're in.
Consume, ignore, I feel so bored. I hate the world I can't afford. I wish I could just disappear, 'cause I'm too tired to be.
Consume, ignore, on surface level, this is a cycle of modern life. Binge social media, scroll endlessly, ignore the real stuff. But hidden, it's a command to lens persona, like programming a robot to numb out. As Robopup, her name evokes robotic puppies. This ties into a feeling of mechanized in a consumeristic society. This is digital coping mechanism, the endless passive intake of content, consume, and the simultaneous ignorance of our own feelings, our responsibilities. The world crumbling outside our window. It's not an active, joyful consumption, it's a numbing agent. And the result? I feel so bored. This isn't the boredom of having nothing to do, it's a profound spiritual exhaustion. It's the paradox of infinite content leading to infinite emptiness. The dopamine receptors are fried. The vocals here are delivered in a monotone drawl, almost whispered, over a basic synth bass line that pulses like a heartbeat. Subtle, but with headphones on, you'll hear faint echo reverb, mimicking isolation. I hate the world. It's not literal hate, but frustration with systemic issues, maybe echoing her immigrant family roots in a capitalistic grind. I Can't Afford is a masterclass in double meaning. On the surface, it's about financial precarity, a real stressor for Gen Z, but listen deeper. She can't afford rent, maybe, but she can't afford the emotional energy to engage with the world she hates. She can't afford to care. Hope, activism, passion, these are luxuries for a mind that isn't drowning in static. And notice the sonic landscape here. Pay attention with good headphones. The beat is a simple, relentless loop. A compressed kick, a tight snare. There's a very faint, almost subliminal synth pass shimmering in the background. Like a fluorescent light humming in the empty room, it's a sound of monetary. It's not meant to be exciting, it's meant to be oppressive. I wish I could just disappear. This isn't just an escape fantasy. It's a plea for a pause button on consciousness, to simply cease to be perceived, to cease the labor of existing for a moment. But the last line, because I'm too tired to be. To be what? The sentence is left hanging, and the void is where the meaning lives. Too tired to be happy? Too tired to be productive? Too tired to be a person? Too tired to be anything? The ambiguity is on point. The exhaustion is so total, so all-consuming, that it defies a specific predecessor. The very act of being has become the burden. What does that unfinished sentence mean to you? It's a mirror. Combining the lines together, this screams mental health fatigue, a quiet plea for escape without the drama. No glitch here means no distortion. The tiredness feels real, unfiltered. The beat stays steady, no changes, reinforcing the monotony. Chapter 4. Naming the enemy. And now we meet a titular character, the antagonist who lives inside.
Silly girl inside my brain, leave me alone for a day. Tired of these silly thoughts, wish they would just go away.
This is brilliant. The phrase silly girl inside my brain is self-addressed, superficially dismissing intrusive thoughts as silly. However, it could carry a deeper meaning, potentially reflecting gendered self-criticism tied to social expectations for young women in the 2000s, and hinting at anglicized vulnerability due to Eastern European heritage, where silly girl might echo diminutive Russian terms. The choice of silly is crucial as it infantilizes dismissive intrusive thoughts, mirroring how people try to belittle their inner demons, telling themselves, "Oh, don't be silly, you have nothing to be anxious about," to diminish those thoughts into submission. Sonically, the vocals pitch up slightly, creating a whiny edge with a layered harmony underneath that sounds like an echoing inner voice, a faint, quick, and repetitive hi-hat and a beat symbolizing nagging thoughts. The plea, "leave me alone for a day," reveals the power that this silly girl truly holds. It's a desperate negotiation, not a command. The repetition of silly thoughts and wish they would just go away emphasizes helplessness, revealing the cyclical looping nature of anxiety, and the listeners might interpret this as OCD, anxiety loops, or ADHD scatter. Unlike tracks of the glitch-stutter, its linearity makes it feel like an unanswered plea. The course musically reinforces this by not resolving or building, simply repeating and trapping the listener in the same way the thoughts trap the speaker. How do your silly thoughts manifest? Is this dismissal healthy or suppressive?
Where do I put all the words that only make me feel worse? I don't like reality.
The lyrics, "Where do I put all the words that only make me feel worse?" highlight the burden of an internal monologue, specifically thoughts that are too dark, strange, or silly to articulate aloud. This creates a sense of internal curdle, as the speaker grapples with the logistics of where to offload this psychic weight. From a surface interpretation, it speaks to overthinking and rumination. However, a hidden meaning connects with the artist's persona, Robopup, suggesting words as burdensome data for the robotic mind, akin to an overflow in a system with no place to store negativity. Sonically, this section is underscored by subtle low synth drone, almost imperceptible without headphones, which builds tension. The vocals also slow, imbuing each word with a weighted significance. The lines, "I don't like reality, can't pick what to watch on TV," are central to the theme of escapism. On the surface, they suggest a preference for fiction over real life. However, a deeper interpretation reveals the critique of choice paralysis in the streaming era, serving as a metaphor for a broader lack of control in reality. This sentiment can also reflect the artist's personal experiences, such as relocation blues after moving to Florida from New York, or post-2020 isolation. This juxtaposition is the song's tragic punchline and climax, illustrating Alice's paralysis in its purest form. The speaker transitions from a profound statement of dissociation, "I don't like reality," to a seemingly trivial inability to choose a TV show, which becomes a poignant symptom of being utterly overwhelmed. This grounding detail makes the abstract struggle painfully real. It's the ultimate anticlimax that simultaneously serves as the emotional peak. The beat remains unchanged, no shifts, underscoring the indecision status. Does the TV metaphor land for you, or is it just social media now? The repetition, second chorus and verse.
Consume, ignore, I feel so bored. I hate the world I can't afford. I wish I could just disappear, 'cause I'm too tired to be silly girl inside my brain. Leave me alone for a day. Tired of these silly thoughts. Wish they would just go away. Where do I put all the words that only make me feel worse? I don't like reality. Can't pick what to watch on TV.
The song loops back, with the exact repetition of the chorus and verses. On the surface, this emphasizes the cyclical nature of these feelings. Hidden, it mirrors mental loops without resolution, showing no evolution because exhaustion persists. Sonic-wise, there's no variations in production. It's the same levels, same effects, or lack thereof, but with quality headphones, you can catch slight vocal fatigue in the second round. It's raw, a human slip. This repetition without glitch makes it feel hypnotic, almost meditative, unlike stutter-heavy tracks where breaks simulate disruption. Sonic elements in production's deep dive. Silly Girl serves as a case study in minimalism, where the absence of Robopup's usual stylistic elements is central to its message. The lack of glitches signifies a smooth, monolithic state of depression rather than a fractured one, while the absence of Russian implies a disconnection from the core self and heritage under the weight of apathy. The immediate vocal start and the short length throw the listener directly into an oppressive cyclical thought loop the song embodies. Sonically, it's a stripped-down electric pop track with nightclub 20XX vibes, featuring synth pass for an atmosphere, a simple kick snare drum machine beat, and a clean, lightly auto-tuned vocals. Crucially, the absence of typical glitch-stutter effect, which usually represents a fragmented identity in other songs like Program Me, Nothing Feels the Way It Should, and Pistoletta, heightens the vulnerability as thoughts flow broken and overwhelmingly. The track starts abruptly with vocals on beat 1, mimicking a sudden thought intrusive. Its brevity at 1 minute and 10 seconds forces conciseness. Headphone nuances include a sub-bass rumble under Disappear and a faint echo on Go Away, adding depth without chaos. The unchanging beat, devoid of drops or builds, mirrors the flatline of boredom. This deliberate lack of glitch makes the listening experience stark, emphasizing the continuous and inescapable nature of the song's themes. The song perfectly captures the state of where you are too exhausted to even properly break down. It's a quiet, gray, suffocating space, brilliantly rendered through a monotone delivery, a simple beat, and lyrics that find the cosmic in the mundane. It's a song for anyone that has stared at a screen, unable to choose because the real choices felt too big to even consider. It's a quiet masterpiece of lethargy. Deeper meanings and interpretations. The overall meaning is it's an anthem of millennial/Gen Z burnout, consume ignore as coping. Hidden, it's an autobiography to her life, New York roots to Florida move, heritage influences without overt Russian mental health battles. Some food for some extra thought. Listeners might see consumerism critique or gender dynamics in Silly Girl. Perhaps neurodivergent allegory, silly thoughts as intrusive. In the context of Robopup's discovery, it's a pastel cleanser showing raw emotion sans effects. The themes of disappearance touch on depression. What hidden layers do you uncover? Outro. A fascinating specimen indeed. If you want to dive deeper into the Robopup universe and support her work directly, you can find the links to all her social media in the description. Keep your headphones on and your minds open. My name's Doctor Electro of the Electro Company. You just watched the 4th episode of my Overanalysis series. I'll catch you in the next one.